This episode of the Haunted Road Trip Show is brought to you by evidential medium Tracy St. Croix. Have you ever wondered, how could I have known that? Or curious why you seem to sense things about people you just met? And you come to find out your hunch was spot on? Visit www.tracystcroixmedium.com to discover the power of your intuition, gain a secure foundation to start a co-creating relationship with spirit, and enroll in our intuitive development programs. Welcome to the Haunted Road Trip Show, where we bring you powerful conversations, insights, and exciting site investigations that reveal the paranormal world in a way you've never seen before, up until now. Tune in and become part of a community that enjoys the thrill of finding out what the paranormal world wants to teach you and solve the issues. Be sure to visit our website at www.hauntedroadtripsshow.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, prepare to have your thirst for curiosity satisfied as you enjoy ghost stories, haunted house stories, and more.
We're going to talk about dead people. Dead people, that's right. Actually, we're going to talk about the ability to connect with deceased people, which is, we're going to talk about mediumship. And I'm here with my good friend, Jesse, who is going to be co-teaching a class with mediumship with me in the next couple weeks. Introduce yourself, Jesse. Tell us who you are, where are you from, and what are you up to?
That's right. Well, thanks for having me on with you, Tracy. I'm very excited about this event coming up in February. I am Jesse Prejean. I am an evidential medium. I also work as an intuitive healer and a coach. I'm also a Reiki master teacher. I do a lot of things. And I am also from Austin, Texas, getting ready for this cold front to move in. I'm actually very excited about it. I have been in the spiritual healing arts for a little over a decade now, but officially developing as a psychic medium, primarily evidential mediumship, for about 4 years or so at this point.
That's right.
So I'm excited to talk about some things tonight and answer some questions.
Yeah, so if you guys have questions about mediumship or mediumship development right off the bat, like put those in the chat. We're going to totally answer them for you, because that is what the purpose of this live is we want to talk about maybe some of the misconceptions that are out there about mediumship, and maybe to see if you really could be interested or want to develop that mediumship skill with two highly qualified mediums here. I do want to also preface that Jesse did not toot his horn enough, so I will go ahead and do it for him. And he is an Arthur Findlay trained medium as well as I am. So we are both alumni of the renowned Arthur Findlay College of Psychic Sciences in the UK. He's also studied with me as well. So he is absolutely fantastic at what he does. He truly, truly values taking care of people and wanting everybody to get the best out of whatever their abilities may be. So let's kick this show off. We don't have any questions coming in just yet, but I wanted to go over some of the questions that I've received over the years about mediumship, and one of them being kind of a misnomer about what mediumship actually is. And mediumship is actually not only the ability to connect with a deceased person. And we're only talking about deceased people here, guys. I know a lot of people like to go into the spirit guide realm and the angels and the ascended masters and all of the other wonderful spiritual beings that are out there in the universe. But right now we're going to be keeping it to just deceased people. Mediumship is the ability to connect with a deceased person and deliver an accurate and evidential based message to somebody about that person. I know it's a lot to chew on, but that is what the core of mediumship is. There's a lot of misconceptions that, us mediums were just, going around just talking to dead people, here, there, and everywhere. And some of them might do that, but I don't. I've got things I have to do, and I would get way too distracted during my day if I had to attend to every spirit that wanted to get my attention. What about you, Jesse?
I absolutely agree with you. I think that what you just mentioned about kind of seeing things, feeling things here and there, I notice that for a lot of people who might be curious about whether or not they're mediums or if they are able to tune into that ability, often are having these types of experiences or have had experiences in their life where maybe they just are seeing or feeling or sensing things around them that they know intuitively are spirits or spiritual in nature, but maybe they dismiss it or doubt it, or maybe someone else tells them that, they're crazy or what they're seeing isn't real. So these are just real experiences people are having, but how do we, get them in a space where they can explore that a little more, through mediumship, especially through some actual concrete foundational training and structure.
Yes, I fully agree with that. And Jesse brought up a very valuable point about it is, a lot of times people will question, and if you guys have questions, pop those into the chat, please. Because a lot of people are intimidated or unsure about developing their mediumship skills or how to actually go about how to go about doing that. Because quite frankly, there's no, what I'm saying, it's pretty hard to Google, I need a degree in mediumship. There's, it's going to be few and far. Yeah. Unless you want to go to Arthur Finley, and they don't really give out degrees. But what we're creating here, what me and Jesse really wanted to create, was that safe place for you to explore mediumship and to see what those abilities actually are within you. And if you want to connect with spirit, if you want to continue to connect with spirit, but what we're going to do is we are going to give you such high, tight, and right foundational abilities to go out there and kick some butt with mediumship that it's just going to rock your socks off. Because, guys, you're not going to get this training elsewhere in the U.S. You've got to go to Arthur. Trust me, I tried to find it myself in the U.S. and I had to go to England to get it. And thank God I did. All right. Kathy has a question. Is mediumship a learned skill or is it an ability you're born with? I love that question, Kathy. Mm-hmm. I love that question. And the answer to that is this and that can be true at the same time. Mediumship, a lot of mediums are born with it. A lot of times we go through, some of us have a lot of chaotic kind of PTSD from childhood, a lot of traumatic events. And sometimes those traumatic events heighten our sensitivity towards spirit. And then we have to search out people that can help us develop those skills. Mediumship to me is like an ability that anybody else is born with. Like you could be really good at cooking or really good at mechanics, but you have to find somebody that can help you figure out everything, figure out the A, B's, and C's of cooking, of putting together a car, of doing anything. You need somebody to hold your hand. So this and that can be true. What do you think about that, Jesse?
I absolutely agree. And what I find really interesting in some of the students that I work with is that sometimes it's just even a natural curiosity. There's like some kind of draw to mediumship. Maybe they are someone who hasn't even considered anything about developing, or someone who's not even had experiences, but they just feel that draw towards mediumship. And once they do step into a space to explore that, they find out very quickly that they are in fact mediums. And, I love when people step into that and are able to have these really profound experiences right off the bat and things start to click for them, especially in the way that we're able to teach through specifically evidential mediumship. I just find so much simplicity in the structure and the way that it's designed. It does create that solid, secure space for people to develop and grow.
It is very, it is, I like to say, a little bit complicated and a whole lot simple formula to figure out. Once you get it,
Totally.
Totally. Once you get it, like you can totally be on fire with that. So that is a fantastic question, Kathy. Thanks for bringing that forward for us to be able to answer. And that, kind of goes into a little bit of another question that people sometimes ask me is everybody a medium? And my experience is no. However, I want to put a no but. No but, however, everybody can be aware to get a sign from their loved ones. Okay, let me say that again. Not everybody has the ability to be a medium. Right. However, everybody has the ability to receive signs from their loved ones in spirit. Okay? On that. So everybody has the ability to, whatever that sign might be. Maybe it's a bird. Maybe it's a song. Maybe it's a smell. Maybe it's all of a sudden you keep hearing that saying that your dad used to say all the time out in public. Everybody can ask and receive a sign. What do you think about that, Jess? Share your thoughts.
Absolutely. I think we, on some level, we're all intuitive, right? And within that kind of realm of these sort of abilities that we have, it is often something that shows up for most people. I think for a lot of people who have some sense of some sort of openness to spirit and maybe a desire or curiosity to be open to receive those things. So yeah, I mean, that's something that was something that happened to me even before I stepped into mediumship or any kind of intuitive work. So, yep, knowing the signs of, a deceased loved one who's showing up. I think I hear cardinals are often something that show up for a lot of people. I know my grandfather, he's always showed up as a mockingbird, which is really awesome.
And it's quite fun when you start to learn your own signs from spirit. It allows you to not feel alone in this world because, guys, no matter if you take mediumship, no matter if you ever see me or Jesse ever again, just know that we do not do this gig at all by ourselves. Right. And another question that I get a lot too is, what's the number one thing that somebody could do to help develop their mediumship. And I always suggest get a regular spiritual practice of meditation. And I'm going to delve just a tiny bit deeper into the meditation. Okay. Meditation meaning to quiet your mind. That means to take the box of the to-do list, the kids, the husband, the wife, the partner, the job, the coworker, the neighbor, all that junk, put it in a pretty box and put it to the side. You can pick it up in 15 minutes. And it just simply means to sit with yourself and breathe. This is not a sense of going on a journey with a guide or going on to some, awesome spiritual realm. I mean, just sitting and following your breath. And we will train you on how to do that here in this class as well. We're going to go through a lot of how to quiet the mind, because that is the number one skill set of a medium, is the ability to quiet their mind down, make space, and allow for spirit to come in to drop those nuggets, to drop that information in. And we're going to teach you how to do that. We're going to show you how that, how we do it. And you're going to learn what your mechanics is, because that's the number one thing, is you need to know as a medium what your mechanics are. You're your own car. You're your own vehicle. We're going to give you a guide. We're going to give you the manual, and you got to kind of figure it out. You got to get out there and practice on that. Let's see. And if you guys, already typed that in. If y'all have a question about mediumship, please put it into the chat. We would love to absolutely talk with you about that. And I did want to make a preface on this. We did release the class already, the openings to a couple of my private groups that I have. And we've already gotten flooded with students already. And me and Jesse have a finite amount of students that we're taking into this class. So if you guys are even thinking about taking this class, hubba and sign up for it. I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link after, or I might be able to find it now, into the chat, so that you guys can get signed up and save your seats. Cause we, when we have these classes, we get so many people and we can only take so many.
Yep.
On that. Jesse, what are your thoughts about people who are intimidated because of their religious upbringing?
Wow. Well, I think that certainly puts a damper on someone to be completely open at first to mediumship, of course, because, I think throughout the ages, and even still to some degree, but I think a lesser degree today, that there's a bit of a stigma around mediums, and that, especially from the perspective of religions, they have projected or portrayed mediumship in a certain light, in fact, in a negative light. And I think a lot of people who struggle with that have had some really strict sort of religious upbringing, but also have had some curiosity or maybe even experiences. I have worked with students in the past who had that strong religious upbringing that told them, mediumship is no good. It's not something to really play around with. If you do, you're playing with fire or you're playing with negative forces. But in fact, those things are completely untrue. But I think for someone who struggles with that, what we're able to do is kind of help you to shift out of some of those old beliefs or some of those old ideas. And I think a big part of shifting out of that is to have the experience of, connecting with spirit in your own way.
Yes.
So that you can essentially, I think by the action of it, by the participation itself, those old beliefs will start to kind of fade away into the background, especially if you're someone who has had experiences where you're damn certain that you are getting signs and symbols and connecting with spirit, but you still have that old ingrained belief from your parents or from your church. We can help you shift out of that.
Yeah. I always say, take your power back. Claim your power.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you can, find a lot of comfort and a lot of knowing you're not alone.
Absolutely.
Even just starting to creak open that door of mediumship, because even I tell my, students and everything all the time, even if you don't plan on becoming a professional medium, or you just want to use it for your own personal use and know you're not a little mental, this class is for you.
Absolutely.
And knowing how to connect with spirit right away, trust me, will help you out in some of the most challenging times of your life and some of the most joyful times of your life. And we're going to talk a lot about that in the classes on there. And I think I was able to drop the link in there on our StreamYard chat. I'll have to check afterwards, but if not, I will put that link into there, guys. So people, if you have been somebody who can sense other people's loved ones around you, or you sense your loved ones around you, or you go somewhere and you suddenly feel like you're crowded and there's nobody around you, or you start to get that anxious pounding in your heart, like, oh my God, you might be sensing spirit a lot. Mm-hmm. And you don't know how to actually take the next step to connect. That's what I've seen a lot with my clients, is they kind of go well, I don't know, I felt anxious and I left and I needed to go home and take it as Xanax, just to calm down. And I totally understand that. But we're gonna teach you on how to take the next step and how to really connect and have a great time. And by the time you leave our class, our goal is for you to be able to trust yourself, trust the connection that you're making with spirit, and have confidence to deliver a little bit of a message, just a little bit. We'll see how far we'll see how far we get with all of the students. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out. But in the meantime, have a great day. If you're in Central Texas, stay cold or stay warm in the cold weather. Stay cold.
It's gonna be cold.
I know. It's going to be cold. Everybody else, I wish you just a bunch of blessings and love and light, y'all. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into the Haunted Road Trips show, where we share powerful conversations, insights, and exciting site investigations that reveal the paranormal world in a way you've never seen before, up until now. Remember to visit our website at www.hauntedroadtripsshow.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Haunted Road Trips show. And remember, paranormal history is dying to be heard.